What is up, my lovely mates of YouTube? My name is Aussie Marcel, and in today's video I'm going to be looking at 3 vintage scents. But before I get into that, if you like the content I make here on YouTube, please consider hitting that big red button down below to subscribe to the channel, and also if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Okay, before we get into the fragrances, it's probably pretty obvious that I've got a bit of a cold, but apart from that, I feel pretty good. Alright, so let's just crack on with the fragrances. First fragrance that we're going to be talking about today is Paco Rabanne Pour Homme from the 1970s. Despite the fact that this is a vintage scent, it's still pretty powerful. It's got all of those hallmarks of a vintage scent. It's earthy, it's mossy, there's like a tiny bit of leather in the background. It's almost got this like earthy smokiness to it, but smoke isn't an actual listed note. And the performance for this one is fantastic. We're talking about 8 hours plus on your skin. And what I love most about these older vintage scents is that they really help you stand apart from other people that are wearing scents. Your typical guy out there is going to be wearing something really sweet, something kind of cloying. These fragrances from like the 70s and 80s, they smell so much different than what's out there today. It really helps set you apart from other people, and in my opinion, that's important when it comes to wearing fragrances. You don't want to be smelling exactly like everyone else. Price for Paco Rabanne's Pour Homme is about $40 to $50 Australian. I've seen it go even lower on eBay, and in Priceline you can get it for about $45. Please shop around for this one because the price does fluctuate. And I do believe Chemist Warehouse has a sale on this one at the moment for about $40. But again, shop around, find whatever's cheapest and then go with that one. The next fragrance we're going to be talking about is Davidoff's Cool Water. This is an iconic 1980s scent, and it was one of the best-selling fragrances in the 1980s. This thing smells incredible. It smells like a rainforest, it's aromatic, it's green. Surprisingly, there's not a huge amount of aquatic notes here, it's just more like fresh and clean. There's no one on earth that dislikes the way this one smells. It's one of those fragrances that's impossible to dislike. Performance is amazing for its age. We're talking about 8 hours plus on your skin, and this is almost the ideal scent to wear after you shower, after you work out at the gym and you've freshened up a bit. The only other scent that I would say maybe better than this one for that particular use case is Versace Blue Jeans, but that's sort of like a nostalgic thing for me. Cool Water though is just an iconic scent, and as far as vintage fragrances go, every bloke needs to have this in their collection. You can pick up a 125 ml bottle of this at Chemist Warehouse for about $25 Australian. At that price, it's an essential. And the last fragrance we're going to be talking about is from 1995, and that is YSL Opium Pour Homme. I had 2 bottles of this, but someone very dear to me accidentally broke the other one and replaced it with Versace Dylan Blue. But anyways, we're talking about Opium Pour Homme here. This scent is incredible. Tobacco isn't a listed note for Opium Pour Homme, but it's mostly what I get, and I also get a lot of that star anise in the opening. This is sort of like a Middle Eastern spice market. It's very spicy, very warm, but it smells absolutely fantastic, and in the colder weather, this is one of the best scents you can possibly wear. You can get this one for $69 at Chemist Warehouse on sale. At that price, it is pretty solid because the performance is fantastic, and I usually get a lot of compliments for this one. No one else is wearing it. The only Opium people really know is the women's line for YSL, and I think that's, kind of criminal, to be honest. This is such a slept-on fragrance. And I think 1995 is considered probably vintage nowadays. So yeah, if you like super warm, super spicy fragrances, definitely check out Opium Pour Homme at that price of $69 from Chemist Warehouse, and with performance at about 10 hours on my skin, it's definitely a solid recommendation. Anyways, there's still a lot of vintage fragrances kicking around for sale. What are some of your favorite vintage fragrances? Let me know in the comments below, and until the next video, my name is Aussie Marcel, and I'll catch you guys around.